Well, good morning and happy Friday to you. If you are watching us live right now, then you are probably enjoying the all-day marathon event that is happening over in the Craft on the Clock Facebook group. We're so excited for today. It's Family Photo DIY Day, so we're giving you lots of home decorating ideas and crafting ideas, all using family photos. So they could be vintage photos. Pardon me while I adjust our light a minute. It was a little far away. Or they could be current family photos. How many of us have photos tucked away somewhere, whether it's in a storage album or whether it is on a storage device? We probably all have photos hanging on to them somewhere, you know, that a lot of times we kind of forget about, or sometimes they collect dust or they're tucked away and long forgotten and they need to be shared. I'm always an advocate for sharing photos, vintage family photos especially, because I feel like they have a way of preserving stories from our past. And so whether you have access to vintage family photos or not, this idea that I'm going to give you today will hopefully inspire you to pull out some of those photos and put them on display in a very unique way. So come on in, tell me that you are here. I'm so excited that you are joining me today. I have lots of things spread out on the table. And at the last minute, we've had a little bit of a schedule change. This event is running all the way up until 9 p.m. Central Time tonight. And we had a little bit of a last minute emergency. And so our next presenter is not going to be able to be with us. So you guys have me for a full hour today. But all of the other presenters will be 30 minutes. And so we're going to take our time. We're going to enjoy this today. And then we'll move on at 11 a.m. Central with our next presenter today. So happy that you all are here with me. We do have a little britches running around here under my feet. Here, let me show them real quick because she's made a camera appearance once and it's been a little while. She's grown. She's grown. Look at my smile bug. She has grown and she is growing like a weed, and she's as rambunctious and playful as you can imagine. Good morning, Miss Judy. Oh, well, she's going to chew on our project this morning. She's about ready for her morning nap, but the morning is like by far her most rambunctious time, and you can see she's still in the puppy chewing phase. Good morning, Miss Karen from Pennsylvania. How are you? Good morning, Miss Mary. Oh, hopefully she doesn't get my mic. I forgot my mic was right there. Good morning. Hello, Miss Stephanie. How are you? All right, I'm going to plop her back down. Did you pin me at the top of the groups? Okay, thank you. She might need to go out in a minute. And, she hungry? No, I think he'll be home in time to feed her. So we'll wait. It's like doing life with a baby. Sometimes when my son is not in the house or, home taking care of her, we have her temporarily in the home for now. But when she's not in the home, or when he's not at home, we kind of tag team babysitting her. And so it gets a little crazy around here. So you can imagine we've got 3 kiddos and two fur babies in the mix, and so she's all over the place, you guys, but so much fun. Hey, Miss Chloe. She's a doll, and she's an English hound dog, so she will only be little for a short amount of time. So we're enjoying her while she's small. We're enjoying her for sure. Hello, Miss Becky from Oklahoma. You guys, I'm so excited to show you all what I have planned today. I kind of already put some stuff together, so I don't want to kind of ruin the surprise. So kind of let me disassemble a little bit of this that I had already put together. I wanted to make sure this was going to kind of turn out, excuse me, the way I had it in my mind. Sometimes you just don't know. And when I thought I only had 30 minutes, I wanted to make sure that I was prepared and well planned to deliver a good project for you guys today. And so I don't know how many of you like to see little mini trees or some type of greenery up all year long, but I'm going to kind of show you my inspiration behind this. These little trees I grabbed at Hobby Lobby. My chair is like super squeaky. I don't know. It's being noisy today. These little trees, I grabbed these at Hobby Lobby during the Christmas holiday season, of course. And I love them because they're simple. And I can use them kind of all year long. And to me, an all-year tree, an all-year-round tree that I keep out in my decor all year long needs to be something that I can clean pretty easy, because things like this get dusty. I don't know about you guys, but with a lot of people in the house, and we live in the country, and so we just have dust. It's just a part of life out here. Honey, she's getting into everything over here. Oh, she's grabbing my basket of Sweet Annie. Y'all might see an epic disaster here in a minute. You got her? Oh, just take her back in there for a little bit. I know, but she'll wind down here in a little bit. I forgot where I was. Good morning, Stephanie. How are you? I like to keep things that are easy to clean. And so a full-size, like, evergreen tree in my house is just not practical, right? Because the amount of dust and things that would collect on it without, like, a heavy-duty dusting job, like 2 or 3 times a year, probably. Hey, Miss Misty, how are you? Dust and dog hair. I know it's just the way of life out here. We're very rural home life out here, and so we take that with everything, and so we have to keep that in consideration. So I was thinking these little trees, we're gonna like really prim it up and dress it up. You can kind of see I've kind of already done some experimenting. I'm gonna show you that, but I could take this outside. And honestly, these little, wouldn't even have to probably take it outside. I could probably stick it under the bathtub faucet or shower. But these little branches are plastic. Now, I'm kind of particular with how things look. But these plastic branches to me do not look plastic. Up close or from afar, they don't look plastic. And so I'm good with that. Meaning I can rinse this off with some water, spray it off, and just do a quick dusting with it, and we're good to go. Not to mention it's small size, it's doable for something like that, right? Thank you, Miss Ruth. I thought you would love that. Hello, Miss Mara. How are you, sweet friend? Our California friend, Vintage Retail Therapy by Mara. Miss Mara, you'll have to remind me. I can't remember who was on the schedule today. If you're going to be live, let us know what time you're going to be live. We have crafters scheduled all the way up until 9 p.m. tonight, you guys. Every 30 minutes, except for you get me for an hour today. Our next presenter had a last-minute emergency, and we couldn't find a fill-in at the last minute. So you guys get me for a full hour today. What a treat, huh? Hello. That's right. Well, not Chloe. Don't mistaken me. I don't dust regularly. But I need help when it comes to preventing extra dust in my house. You know what I mean, right? So I was thinking this was perfect. But now for some things, I like it kind of bare and prim. This is a little bit primitive style in nature, I think. But I'm thinking for spring, I want it to look a little bit more springy. So I've got some tips I'm going to show you today. Let me grab my bag here. You all know that I love this, let's see, that's not the right bag. These little greenery garlands. Oh, heavens to Betsy. I guess we've missed, oh, it's over there. It's over on the table. And I'm not going to run and get it. So we'll see. We'll work with what we got here. I do have this little greenery garland right here. Let's use this one. I have 2 of them. I use these all over my house, you guys. And I've had this one on my table centerpiece. So we're going to rework this up. We're going to use this greenery garland to add to this little tree to give it more of a spring look, okay? I love winter decorations, that is, and I love winter if I'm getting snow. However, there's no snow in sight here in Kentucky for the foreseeable future, so I'm moving on to spring around here. All the snowmen, or the last few snowmen that I have out, are getting packed up this weekend. So, we're moving on to spring. So on this little tree, I have one little strand of teeny lights. I love these little teeny lights. You all take a look at those little lights. They're smaller than a regular Christmas tree light strand, right? Good morning, Miss Darlia from Darche Designs. Who else is here? Miss Sharon from Virginia. Good morning, Miss Deanie is in the house. So I've just wrapped that around haphazardly, just twirled it around, not super tight. I want it kind of loose and whimsical around that tree, just to give it a little bit of a glow. Now, what I'm going to take, we're going to take this greenery garland. Let's see, which one's longer? Let's see. My brand new one, I just went and grabbed another one at Hobby Lobby yesterday because these are on sale. And so you can get them, I think 40% off or 50% off. I can't even remember. But I like to use these, and so I always kind of grab one here and there, and I use them all over the place. I use them on top of cabinets. I use them on top of, bookshelves. I use them, I twirl them around my blanket ladder sometimes, even around mirrors or wall art, all kinds of places. So we're going to wrap this around this tree to kind of spring it up. Okay? And, well, let's start with something else first. Hang on. Another vintage piece. I'm going to pull this in. I grabbed this from my friend Chassida at Custom Southern Co. She has a live vintage sale every night on her page. I think it's at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. And she has the most unique items that you can find. And she does it all live online on Facebook on her page, Custom Southern Co. She is close to me. She's in Metropolis, Illinois. And I purchased this from her. I think it may have been about a year ago, right around Christmas time. It's a small little firkin, okay? I'm going to use this to put my tree down into to kind of give it a little bit of a base. Aren't those colors magical together? Love the wood tones on that. So, but to kind of fill it in, I mean, this is kind of small, and I don't want my tree kind of wobbling around so much. I just pulled out some brown packing paper that came in one of my shipping boxes recently. So I'm just going to kind of wrap this around the base of my tree, and that'll kind of give it a little bit of extra stuffing to kind of go down in the little firkin, okay? Now, there we go. I mean, I like the look of that little paper even sticking out. You can see a little bit of the burlap, well, I don't know if you guys, a little bit of the burlap sticking out as well. You could do the same thing. You could even add some burlap in there and have it hanging over the edge or whatever. So, that's what we're going to do, and that'll kind of keep it a little bit more stable. All right. Now, around the outer edges, we're going to tie in some little doilies. This one is just a store-bought little doily. I don't even remember where I grabbed this from, but I coffee stained it, coffee grunged it. Yeah, coffee grunged it. It's got the cinnamon and the vanilla smell. And this one, I think, is also a store-bought one. I don't remember where I purchased this one. I had it a long time. We're just going to dangle these over the edge, kind of tuck them in and let them drape over the edges of the firkin. We still want to see the wood tones of the firkin, but I also want to see, just the delicate nature of those little doilies. Now, we might have to fuss with those a little bit to get them to lay like we want them to. But you could use some vintage hankies, some old quilt pieces, even some, you could even use some fabric napkins pieces, fabric scraps. You could use cheesecloth and get the same idea, the same effect, okay? So use anything you have. Use anything you have to kind of dress up that little bottom area around the edges. So now let's dress up this tree, and I'm going to show you how we're going to tie in the vintage family photos here in just a moment. Now, if you were on my Telegram channel, I sent out a text letting you know that I was live, and on that message, I have a vintage family photo, a very special family photo. It's a vintage photo, but it is of my great-great-grandmother and my great-grandmother, along with my great-aunt. I love the photo because I love seeing their clothing and things like that. So if you're not a part of my Telegram channel, you guys will want to sign up for that. I'm going to show you that photo here in just a little bit, but I love sending some little special sneak peeks over there on my Telegram channel. So if you want if you are not already a part of my Telegram channel, you'll want to be sure to get on there. I do have the link. Typically, if you're watching this live on Facebook, if you tap, I think it's a little chain link icon, or sometimes it's a little square, like a little cube symbol. I'm tied up in garland, you guys. you can tap on that and it'll give you some of my featured links, okay? And on those featured links list, one of those is to sign up for my Telegram channel notifications. And that's where I send bonus materials and sneak peeks and reminders, all the fun stuff, you guys. Because sometimes we don't always get to see what we want here here on this platform, so I'm able to send extra things to you, and it's just like getting a text message, which is so much fun. And I don't bombard you or overwhelm you with messages. It's just every once in a while, right? Just for the fun of it, just to check in and give you some fun surprises, or check in and see how you're doing, just like texting a friend. All right, we're just taking this garland and we're wrapping it around the center trunk of this little tree. That's not, I wouldn't really say it as a trunk, but more like a stem or a stalk because it's so narrow. But I'm just going to fuss with it a little bit because the garland kind of wants to get wrapped up on itself. So I'm just going in, I'm fussing it, sort of like fluffing a Christmas tree, okay? Pulling that out and seeing where we have flat areas and things like that. You can already see a little bit of the difference. Now I kind of left a little spot bare down here, it looks like. So what we'll do is we'll take a couple little sprigs and we'll stick it in. I probably wasn't paying real close attention when I wrapped it right there, obviously, right? So let's fluff it a little bit. And here's a little piece that fell off, so we'll stick that in there. But you get the idea, right? You can just fluff and fluff and fluff until your heart is content. And I have just a little bit more. I kind of need to finish it off at the top, so let's add a little bit more to the top. And then we'll get to adding the extra stuff and then tying in the family photos. I'm so excited for this. Now this little garland has a little hook. See that on the end? I love using those little hooks for projects, especially just like this, because I can hook that right on the tippy top of my tree, and it'll hold it there for me. Now we took that very wintry looking tree and we jazzed it. Whoa, that's like a wild hair. It's a wild piece of greenery there. Let's kind of tuck that in there, but you can fuss with that as long as you want. But we made it look much springier. Where is this? Right here. This is a little bushy right here, but you guys, you will fuss with it as long as you want. Hey Gracie, I need you to grab something off the table for me, please. There's a Hobby Lobby sack right there on the table. I forgot to grab it. I thought it was over here, but it was a different sack. Thank you. That's what we needed. That's our other string of greenery. Now we're going to use that in just a minute. All right, so I think that's it. Now you can add some more stuff. If you wanted to add some florals to this, you totally could. Really big for the spring, you could add some little forsythia branches and make it look really wispy. I'm keeping it a little bit neutral and basic today for my project. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, I have some coffee stained, just strips of muslin material. You could use drop cloth, whatever you have. It doesn't have to be anything specific. And what I have done, or started rather, doing with these little strands of coffee stained fabric, I've just made little scrap ties. So that's what I'm going to do with this little strip. I'm just going to kind of fold it and then make some little cuts. Actually, I did this yesterday and I measured it, my elbow to my hand, and then I'm going to twist it. You just want some strips that are about maybe, we're twisted on my ring there, about 6 inches long, maybe. Okay, yeah, maybe about 5, give or take. Now, let's say you are doing a tree that's a little bit larger. You would want to go with bigger, longer strips, okay? Wider and longer, the bigger your tree. Now, I know this is an off-season for getting trees like this. So what can you use if you can't find something like this? Go to Marketplace, hit up yard sales, garage sales and things like that, and you'll find some things. You will find some things. I find things like this on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, all the time that are local to me, that I could grab for really inexpensive. Okay, so I'm going to take these little strips, and all I'm going to do is make a simple little knot. That one's way too short. That must have been a little end. Oops. I didn't even cut this one. What happened there? I'm just going to take it and make a little simple little knot and tie it on the tip of a few of these branches around the tree. And that's going to help soften it up some. And it's going to give us the start to that vintage feel. Okay? These look like, goodness, that's kind of crazy right there. We're going to hide some of that craziness here in a little bit. As we keep going, it will soften up. And of course, it's kind of hard to fuss with when you're looking at it backwards. So, but I'm just going to give you the idea, and then you can take it and make it perfect for you, right? Okay, so we're going to twist this one, tie that on. This is a super easy way just to add a little bit of a filler to this. And like I said, I'm keeping it neutral intentionally, because I want this to be something that I can pretty much keep up all year long. And if I wanted to kind of change it out and make it, you know, something special for a specific holiday, it wouldn't take a whole lot for me to do that with. I've got stuff all over me. So with these little neutral fabric strips, it'll do just that. They'll be really simple and neutral. I'm kind of looking to spread these out a little bit. Let's tie one back here. And this, I guess you could even use these to tie down your garland to kind of keep it in place too if you need to. They could kind of do double duty. Okay. Let's see here. I may have cut some of these a little short. That's okay. We're just going to make do with what we got. And then if we need to add more later, we definitely can. All right. So that just kind of helps soften it up. I'm trying to see. I need to add more for sure, but I love the little look of that's adding to it. Now, the next thing I'm going to add, we don't need that. You could even do the same thing if you wanted to use like a homespun fabric. I've got some black and white, not black and white, it's more like a black and tan. You could even add some, you know, if you wanted to go with a specific color scheme. Now I think black is neutral enough that it would blend in really cute with some family photos. Oh yeah, I like that a lot. Kind of double layer the little bows on there. Look at that. See how cute that is? Simple, you guys. Keep it simple, and it'll be even cuter, I think, because we want, here in a little bit, when we add the vintage family photos, we want them to really shine and kind of take the stage. So the more neutral I think that you keep all of your decorations on here, the more that your photos will kind of show up. Okay, so let's move on to the next step. This is an idea, and I'm not even sure that I'm going to keep these on mine because I don't have any little rag balls that match. I need to make me some little rag balls that kind of coordinate with that right there. But I have some little rag balls, and I use these in a lot of my decor. I've got different colors. But rag balls are something that is a primitive idea. Hey, Miss Carolyn, how are you? Hey, Rhonda. So I think these little rag balls like this, you can get a little styrofoam balls and just cover them with strips of fabric material. But these would look so cute tucked in as sort of like little mini ornaments. Okay? See where we're going with this? Now you can also see how you could change these out for the seasons. Let me find a little bare spot for that one. And you could use these in alternate sizes. You could make this a little Americana themed tree and use, if you have some family with military photos, how amazing would that be to use some red, white, and blue. I've got navy blue. I've got some star patterned rag balls and some red and white. How cool would that be to make this a little Americana tree for a patriotic holiday, okay? Now, obviously, if you're in a different country, you would probably be using different colors, right? But if you're in America, you're going to probably use red, white, and blue if you're doing a patriotic tree. Now, we're just going for an everyday look. Okay, so I kind of like to mix and match. But this is just an idea to give you. I don't even know if I will keep these on mine, to be honest. I'm just giving you some ideas to kind of build up this little tree. Pretty cute so far. Pretty cute so far. Now, here's what we're going to do. We are going to make sure, okay, I have some vintage photos. I have some, you know what else I think we could probably add? We could even use a little bit of Excelsior and stuff in this tree as a little bit of a filler as well. I'm going to show you. Just kind of give it a little bit of a whimsical look or country look. I've coffee grunged a little bit of my Excelsior, but some of it honestly needs to be probably grunged a little bit more. Stick that in there. You could go crazy with this. You wouldn't even have to use photos, you guys. This is multiple idea inspirations from this one little project. You could make this if you collect vintage jewelry, or let's say vintage silverware. How cool would that be to do like a little vintage silverware themed tree? Something every day. It doesn't necessarily scream Christmas, okay? And it's much more manageable than a full-size tree. You can make this a memory tree as well, okay? Using photos from one individual in your family that maybe has passed on. You could use this for maybe a family reunion. You could make this as a family reunion centerpiece. The ideas are endless, you guys. The ideas are endless. You have 3 dots. Awesome, Valerie. You have 3 dots, which give you the links. Okay, awesome. Sometimes it looks different for everybody. Yes, you could absolutely make a ragdoll garland. You absolutely could. We're going to make a vintage photo garland. So I'm going to take just some jute twine that I have, and I'm just going to tie it off somewhere in the back. I'm just going to make a little tie off in the back, okay? And then what I'm going to do, let me get this tied off. I'm going to sort of arrange this around the tree so that it looks like a little garland, okay? It's very neutral, right? So it's going to fit in. It's not going to show up a whole lot, but it's going to fit in with our neutral theme here, or everyday look, more like it. All right? So we might have to rearrange this a little bit here in a minute, but we'll see how this works. Now, I will say, the smaller your tree, the smaller your photos need to be. So you might want to have wallet-sized prints made, or I wouldn't even, honestly, I don't know if I would use the originals. You definitely could, but I would think you might want to hold on to originals and just have some photocopies made. Just make them a little bit smaller. Now, I'm not going to tie this top piece off yet in case we need to do a little bit of rearranging with that. So you can see I've just strung that little garland all through my tree. So now what we're going to do, let's take, that little ball fell out. Let's get some photos out. Let's get some photos out. And then I'm going to show you how I'm going to kind of display this possibly. I've got several ideas running through my head. I've got a stack of mess over here. And you know what? If you like using Sweet Annie, I even thought about taking some sprigs of Sweet Annie and sticking them through the tree just as an extra green that will give me a real nice aroma. So how pretty would this be, and how beautiful would it smell if you use this on an entry table by your front door, if you were welcoming in guests, for an anniversary dinner or party for someone in your family. I think that would be a really nice touch. Now, I'm using some photocopies of some vintage family photos because the photos that I have were a little bit too big. So I'm just cutting these out. Now this couple, let me show you. I love sharing family photos. This couple is my great me think about that. My great-great-grandparents on my mother's side. I just love looking at their hairstyles, love looking at their clothing, the attire from that era. I could look at vintage family photos all day long, you guys, all day long. Now, their names, William and Phoebe. William and Phoebe Jane. Now, they were not called. They did not go by their given names. They were both called Daddy Bill and Mom Taylor. That was their nicknames, and that's how everybody knew them. So if you called them by their given names, a lot of times people may not known who you were talking about. So I don't know if your loved ones, I get my Sweet Annie on Amazon, but I also have a sweet follower that's not too far from me that she sends me some as well. And she's given me actually some seeds, so I'm going to be growing some as well. It is tough to find, but look on Etsy and you can a lot of times find some growers on there, okay? And sometimes Facebook Marketplace as well. Now, this is a little too white for me. What I would probably do is put this on a little backing of a piece of cardboard and then just add a little bit of maybe a tea stain or a coffee stain, or if you print this off in a sepia tone, that'll kind of give you the effect that we're going for as well, okay? I just didn't have time to do that before we were live today. Now, these clothespins, hold on a sec. I had a notification and I don't know what it was. These clothespins are from my mom's clothesline. She still hangs out some of her clothing when she hangs it out to dry. So this is sort of another little vintage concept that I like to kind of hang on to, or just kind of have it as a little memento or something like that. And if you don't have something like, you can hang these out on a line anywhere for, a couple of months. They're going to rust up. They're going to get that just good vintage look to them. And I'm going to use these in some of my photos today. Now, I have some more vintage family photos that we have right here. This is the same couple, just different time eras in time. The same photos, isn't that cool? So you could really see how you could use this more of like if you were having an anniversary celebration for, a couple in your family, you could really go all out and make this a real themed display. So I'm just going to use these little weathered clothespins and just tack these on that little garland that we put on there, that little jute string garland. Now, I will say, you could change this out, change out your photos. And I will say that my kids, they know that I love family history and decorating with things that are vintage. But a lot of the times I hear my kids say, those photos are creepy, or why do you want photos that look like that? They're scary looking. And so when I feel like you take vintage family photos out of a storage box or out of an album and you put them in your home decor intentionally with things like this, it gives them more of a connection to maybe like the everyday feel of life, where it kind of takes the scariness out of, for the younger generation. When I look at these photos, it doesn't matter where I see them. I don't think they're scary at all. But that's a comment that I hear a lot of times from my kids. And so I'm thinking, what can I do to change that? How and why do they feel like these photos are creepy to them? I don't know. So when I feel like I can pull them out and dress them up and give them a little bit more of a prettier styling, I'm hoping that kind of takes away that feeling that they have. You order your seeds every year from a vendor awesome. That's great. I know Miss Shayna from Frame It and Contain It, she's going to be growing some as well. So I'm going to be growing some, and hopefully if things go well, I may have a little bit extra that I can share. All right. So I'm just going to keep on going. I have photos right here that I want to show you guys. The stories and the memories that come alive when you look through vintage photos can just be, they're fun to bring back memories. And, sometimes memories hurt. But hopefully you can find memories that bring back happy memories, and those were the ones that you want to cherish and bring to life and share with your family, whether it's your grandkids or your children. I like to keep, the family memories alive. The old portrait photos are all, and that's right, they're not smiling a lot of times, and maybe that's why they feel like they're creepy. I don't know. And a lot of times they're just, they're not overly dressed as far as like their surroundings. It's kind of a plain background, or maybe just a everyday background. It wasn't like, typically wasn't like in a huge event for photos, back in the day. So this is a photo of my grandmother. They are at the roller skating rink. I do not know the year on this. It doesn't have a year. But it was probably, I'm going to guess, probably in the 1940s, late 40s. But they're at the roller skating rink. Look at her and some of her friends. Look at that. She's in the center right there. Tall and beautiful. And I've always seen my grandmother with short hair. Never seen photos of her with long hair, but she loved dressing up. She loved doing her hair, loved just having matching and coordinating outfits and jewelry. And I probably don't get that from her, but the one trait that I do get from her is she loved gardening. She loved planting flowers and just having pretty flowers around. She loved collecting dishes. And so I kind of think I get those two characters from her. But she's been gone for quite a while. She passed away right before my husband and I got married. So in, 2003. So she passed away, I think it was 2002. But she has been gone for quite some time. Of course, my kids never were able to meet her or know her. And so even more importantly, to keep photos around so that they know who these people are. Good morning, Miss Sheila. So I'm going to tack this one on. How cute would this be to make something like this for like Mother's Day and have this filled with photos from your mothers, all of the mothers in your family. How special would that be? And the same with Father's Day. Same with, 4th of July, Memorial Day. You really kind of get the idea of where I'm going with this, right? So here's another one. Whoops, I dropped this. This is another photo of my grandmother. Now this is not quite as great of a photo, but the sizing was perfect to kind of show you how this looks. But she is right here. Let's see. She's in the background right here. But look how I love seeing her makeup on, and the lipstick and their hairstyles. I just love that. So you could really go crazy with this. Make it a girls' night and have fun photos of and it doesn't even have to be photos that are yours. You could print off some photos from the internet that are just free, so go to town with it. Now, how cool would this be if you're celebrating someone in your family who's celebrating maybe a milestone birthday, photos through the years, a little timeline. Here's a photo. Here's a sweet photo. Look at that. That's my daddy. That's my daddy. And so I'm going to tack it. Now this one's a little, and the smaller your tree, the smaller your photos need to be. But I think I need a little photo over here. And it's probably a little bit big, but that's okay. That's okay. We're going to roll with it. So you can just rotate it and give it all kinds of info. This is, this photo is way too large for our tree. Oh, I got one more I need to cut out. I was going to put this one on a piece of cardboard as well. Or you could even put it on one of those craft brownish colored hang tags. Make it into a little ornament if you wanted to. That would be really cute. Dress it up. You could maybe make it a little mixed media project. Decorate it up with some vintage lace. Now, I do have the UPS truck, so fair warning, my dog's going to bark. All done. Shh, all done. He hears the UPS truck. Yep. He's my warning. Cute idea. A baby shower. Okay. All done. All done. Good boy. Fails. Okay. Now he's quiet until the UPS truck leaves. Here's that photo that I sent over on my Telegram channel. I love this photo. Take a look at the clothing. Now this is just like a photocopy. This is not the original photo. But I printed it smaller because I think the size is more suitable for this little tree. But this, this little girl right here on the very side where my finger is, that is my great-grandmother. Look at the clothing that they're wearing. That's my great-grandmother, one of her sisters, and then that's their mother. That would be it, or brings back a memory. Sorry, we're reconnecting. I don't know what's going on. Look at this. She is in a horse-drawn carriage. This is, let me think of this. This is my grandmother's grandmother. This would be my great-grandmother. And her name was... I'm going to unhook my microphone because something's going on with my phone. It's crazy. But I love this photo. Love that photo. Now, this is way too large, but here's an idea. If you have photos that are larger than what you would typically hang on something like this, here's an idea. Let me pull this out. You all have seen me use this wooden tray 1,000 times. I love this wooden circle tray. I use it for so many things, and it's been as a centerpiece on my table for quite some time. My microphone is unplugged, but I'm hoping, and hopefully that'll change things. I think it's my Facebook app, honestly. Let me know if that's any better, because sometimes I just have to disconnect it and reconnect it. So what I'm thinking about, like a side table. And so what I was thinking about, I have some larger photos that I would kind of like to tie in with this same idea. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this same garland. Sound is good now? Okay, awesome. Sometimes it almost like it has to be reset or something. And it's crazy. We're going to use another one of these little greenery garlands around the base. And if you have some photos that are in frames, you could use those as well. So this greenery garland is regular. I saw the tag on this one. Regular $15.99. It's on sale this week at Hobby Lobby, you guys. So if you like this greenery garland like I do, you might want to go snag you 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 of these this week while they're on sale. I love these. It's the color that's perfect for any season. And to me, it has a little bit of an earthier color to the green, which, you know, that's all me. I love things that are more vintagey or earthy in color, so that's all me for sure. Now this one is a little fuller because it's a little longer. I haven't trimmed this one yet. I don't think I want to trim this one just yet, but I would probably cut it in half. Because I don't want it super fluffy. I just want a little bit of greenery at the base. And what you can do is even mix it up with a few other greens. Let's see. I usually kind of stick these these are just off a random greenery pick. I don't even know, but I like them because they look springy to me. They have a little bit mix of a lighter green mixed in with them. Kind of give them a curve and stick 3 or 4 of these in around the center. You could also use a basic greenery wreath, you guys, for this same idea. If your tray is large enough, you could set a wreath right down in here and use that as a little you know, decoration around the edge. Okay, now I'm going to take this firkin and I'm going to set it right down in the center right here, like so. And now I have a really pretty centerpiece that I could use on an entry table. I could use it on a kitchen island, but now keep in mind, if you have a plug, you'll want to put this somewhere. My phone is reconnecting again. Oh my goodness. Facebook is not cooperating with me today, you guys. Thank you for hanging on. You could even use vintage jewelry. I have some of the jewelry from my grandmother. You could use those and make those small little dainty ornaments to hang on your memory tree as well. She loved long necklaces and jewelry and things like that, or pendants. She loved to wear brooches. I have some brooches that she had given me when I was really little. Of course, when I was little, I thought, I'm never going to wear these. But as I'm older now, I still don't wear them, but I cherish them and hang on to them. But where are they? They're tucked away in a jewelry box that I hardly ever look at. So I could take those brooches and add a little fabric tie to them and make them some little mini ornaments, a decor for a tree, something like this. The garland, let me show you. If you want the information for the garland, the number on this, if y'all are ready, this is from Hobby Lobby. Now, it's going to be backwards for you guys, so I'll read it off to you. It's just called Flowering Garland. It's a 6-foot piece, and it's number 272559. It's regular $15.99, but it's on sale this week. I think every other week it goes on sale. So if you want to grab those, it's just a good garland. And like I said, I use these garlands all year round. All year round. Yes, the brooches I think would be really cute. I'm going to have to go pull those out. I have some brooches. She gave me an apple one when I was little. And then even I have one I think is a deer. And my mom may have given me that one. But I just think, how special would something like that be to put it on display in your home in a unique way? Because I have those tucked away and you just don't get to enjoy them. You don't get to see them. Thank you, Miss Deborah. It is your favorite garland too. Oh, awesome. I'm telling you, I can look around in my house right now and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 places in my home that I have this garland. You guys. So when I say I love it, I mean it. I mean it. Hey, Miss Sandra. Awesome. Awesome. I'm so glad y'all love this. And thank you for hanging through with the technical glitches today. I don't know what's going on. I updated my app before I started this morning and we're still having problems. Here's another idea real quick before we sign off. And I'm not going to add this to mine. Let's see. Where's the other one? Oh, there's way over there. I think this was last summer's project. I made some just little vintage little dresses. There was a little fabric pattern that I found on Etsy, I believe it was. Or you can just hand draw your own. But I just created these little primitive style little dresses. How cute would that be to kind of tuck on there with that if you were doing, like a grandmother type theme or Mother's Day, even just something dainty and something delicate. I think that would look really cute. I have 3 of these little dresses that I think would look kind of cute. Now, you would kind of have to bear in mind sizing. You don't want things totally out of proportion. So I'm not going to hang that on right now because I don't have my photos arranged in the right way. But how cute would little mini dresses, little mini dress ornaments be on a little tree like this too, with some photos. And I love photos when you can see that they're wearing dresses or aprons and things like that. Would be so cute. Would be so cute. Thank you, Miss Susan. How are you, sweet friend? You cherish photos too. I do too. I do too. Thank you, Miss Stephanie. So I will tell you our next presenter is coming up at 11 a.m., which is in about 7 minutes, over in the Craft from the Clock group. And all the segments today are 30 minutes. And so they're designed to be really quick and easy, simple ideas that you can use to incorporate family photos into. It's not a day for giving you ideas on how to take photos. It's how to use the photos in your everyday decor and your crafts and things, or it's gift ideas. So I hope that you are inspired by today. If you enjoy things like this, if we've inspired you and you create something using our ideas, I would love it if you would share those over to the Craft Around the Clock group as your personal page. Now, if you're a business, we don't allow business page posts into the group unless you're on the creative team over there, but you can share them from your personal page to the Craft Around the Clock group. We would love to see how we inspire you by this Fun Friday event. And next Friday, we're having Dress Your Door Day. Dress your door, because it's time to change out for the seasons. And don't be fooled by the name. Not everything's going to be a wreath or necessarily a wooden door hanger or anything like that. Lots of creative and unique ideas coming your way for that. I have an idea that I'm working on for inside your home door decor. So I can't wait to share that with you. I'll be on next Friday. I think it's at 8:30 a.m. next Friday for March the 3rd. March 3rd, Dress Your Door Day. So I will see you again there for sure on Saturday morning. I'll be live again before then, but the only way to know is if you're on my Telegram channel so that I can send you those notifications, okay? I want to make sure that you guys know where I'm at, when I'm whoever, wherever, you know the thing. You know the drill, right? Because you don't always get to see things on Facebook. So if I can send a message notification directly to you, that's the best way. Thank you, Miss Patty, for being here and watching. Thank you, Miss Roxana. Appreciate you. Love the tree, Miss Rose. Awesome. I know I've missed many of your comments today. I wanted to make sure that we got through the project today, and with the technical glitches made things a little challenging too. Thank you, Miss Debbie. Miss Debbie will be on today at 3 p.m. Central, and she's always got some unique ideas as well. So onward with the day. You've got about 5 minutes until our next presenter is live. Y'all go get a snack, run to the restroom, grab a drink, or whatever, and come and join us for the rest of the day. Every 30 minutes, on the hour and every half hour. If you're over there in the Craft on the Clock group, just refresh your page. And if you don't know how to do that, just take your finger on your screen, tap your screen, and drag your finger down and let go, and it will refresh. Now, every hour and every half hour, a new presenter will be coming in. So sometimes it takes a minute to get us shared in there, but just be patient, and someone will be there giving you an amazing idea. Thank you, Miss Victoria. You're awesome. Thank you, Miss Joy. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Miss Mary. All right, you guys, I will see you again soon. I'll be in the comments all day long, and all of the presenters that will be seeing you today as well. Okay, see you soon. Bye, guys.